Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle on DGT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, spokesperson for the New Force granted bail as she faces charges of obtaining a student permit by false declaration. Also this afternoon, apathy clouds the upcoming district assembly elections as voters cite non-performance of district assemblies as reason for their disinterest in the polls. Plus, Vice President clarifies comments on credit scoring system, indicating his assertion has been surprisingly misunderstood by some individuals.
A card being the anchor, some people misunderstood that I had said that you can take a Ghana card and go and buy a car, which doesn't make sense.
More as he indicates, Ghana is very close to introducing an individualized credit scoring system that will allow credit risk to be differentiated. And as we get into the Christmas frenzy, we'll take you around the streets of the capital city as some major ones are decorated with the festive lights in what has become known as Light Up the City. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces on Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Nana Aisha. Please do stay for details. Accra District Court has granted bail to Shalima Abuisi, spokesperson for the New Force. She's being accused of obtaining a student permit by false declaration. Shalima has pleaded not guilty to the charge. Let's head to the court and speak with Kwejo Nyako, who's been monitoring this for us. Kwejo Nyako, what is the latest regarding this case?
Spokesperson for the New Force, Shalima Abuisi, has been granted bail by a Kaneshi District Court. The bail sum is 20,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties to be justified. In fact, she's been accused or charged with the offense of obtaining student permits with false declaration. As we speak now, the legal processes are ongoing to ensure that the wishes of the courts, that is the granting her of the bail, is actually satisfied. In fact, they are in the process of inspecting the premises or the facilities of the people, the sureties that are readily available here. But down here, there are hundreds of people that have come in solidarity of Shalima Abuisi. They say that the rule of law should happen. They should not trample upon her fundamental human right. They've already detained her for the past 7 days. In fact, in court, she pleaded not guilty to the charge. The state prosecutors have been canvassing that she obtained her student permit under false pretense. The fact that she says that she is a student of the Ghana Christian University College, according to the state prosecutors, that is not true because the university has actually written to them. And so they are in to prove whether she is a student or not. And they found her activities on social media advocating a new political party. And so the state is interested in the activities of Shalima Abuisi. We've been speaking with some of the people that have come here to lend their support to Shalima. This is what they have to say.
Yes, so my meeting Shelly. Madam Shelly. Oh, yanina na wa ya cancer circle haya Accra haya. Ono na boa ye ma me na boa ni nti na wa say so munja no because ono na boa kakra.
They can say we don't have nothing to say. All we say is free Shelly because she has been feeding a lot of people on the street. Yes. A lot of people are dying. Yes. A lot of people need redemption. And Ghana here, I see that there is no peace. There is no peace. All we see is police and no justice. All we see is police. So we need a freedom now. It's a new Ghana, a new face of Ghana, and a new people. Free Shelley. Free Shelley.
So where do you know Madam Shelley?
Madam Shelley, really, we know her. She has been let's say, a dual citizen of Ghana. Yeah, she's a half citizen of Ghana, and we know her. And we know her from the grassroots. It's not today. We've been working for her. She has a lot of entities. So we say, Free Shelley.
For how long have you known her?
Oh, really? I've known Madam Shelley for about 8 years now.
Because of Madam Shelley.
So what has Madam Shelley done?
I don't know. Yeah.
But you just came. I mean, which people asked you to come?
My brothers.
Your brothers?
Yes.
Where are they? Are they also here?
Yes.
What did they tell you before you follow them?
They tell me, say, make I come help them to come see the Madam Shelley.
But you know Madam Shelley?
No.
You've spoken to her before? You don't
No, but I see her for graphic.
Graphic?
Yes.
So that's the only place that you've seen her?
Yes.
Okay. So from here, what's going to happen after she's been told that she's been granted bail? Obviously, so she's a hairdresser, and then she also came to support. She said that she was informed by the brothers to come here to support the freedom movement that they are advocating. Now, lawyer for Shalima Abuisi, Francis Xavier Sosu, says that they are happy with the court decision. At least they know that every offense is bailable, and the court has indeed clearly stated so, and so they are going through the processes.
Speak now, the sureties are willing, ready, and available to go and sign the bill. In fact, we have the Ghana cards and documents which they have supplied to the registrar of the court. We are just waiting for their homes to be inspected so that she will be released on bail. It's quite unfortunate that while this process is going on, the NIB is insisting that they want to take her to their custody. That we won't agree, because as a matter of law, when a person is granted bail, the person becomes a prisoner of the court. It means that you brought the person to court and the court is dealing with the person. When the court has looked at the situation, looked at the factual situation and admitted the person to bail, you are expected to respect the order of the court, and that is why we are here. And I am going to be here until the order is executed, because it's quite unfair to this young person, you know, to be holding her for the last 7 days for what? For a felony? I mean, this is really unacceptable, and we are not going to allow it. What is happening now that we want to go and keep her and until whatever, I mean, very, very respectfully, that will be an abuse. It will violate her rights to fair trial. It will violate her right to freedom of movement. It will violate her right not only under the Constitution of Ghana, but under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I mean, the UN Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. I mean, how do you treat a foreigner like that on your land? Ghanaians are also, we are also foreigners elsewhere, right? And so how we will want to be treated elsewhere is the same way we should treat other people here. So if you have an issue, no problem. You brought the matter to court. The court has admitted the person to bail. Please, let release her on bail.
In the Kaneshi District Court, my name is Richard Kwejenyaku for Joy News.
Away from the courts, apathy clouds next week's district-level elections, with some voters not interested in casting their ballot because years of voting has not improved conditions in their communities. My colleague Sweetie Abochi has been interacting with some of them.
Do you know your assemblyman?
No, please, I don't know.
Yeah, minimum assemblyman.
Yes, I know my assemblyman.
No, I don't know my assemblyman.
No, I don't know my assemblyman.
No, I don't know. I haven't seen it before.
With the 2024 elections coming up, amidst the spotlight on presidential elections, there exists a pivotal but often overlooked part of our democracy, the local government elections. Over the years, fewer and fewer Ghanaians tend to pay attention to these elections only in the immediate run-up to the polls, and these Ghanaians are only in the rural areas. A few days ago, Minister for Local Government, Honorable Dan Boche, underscored in Parliament that over 6,000 local leaders will be elected into district assemblies.
I entreat my honorable members of Parliament in this August House to whip up enthusiasm of the electorate to turn out on Tuesday, 19 December 2023, and vote massively for the representatives to their respective district assemblies and unit committees. Right, Honorable Speaker. Decentralization has brought government closer to the people than it has ever been in almost 3 decades.
We are simply looking for insight on the roles of these assembly members, if they're living up to their expectations, and generally how we feel about them, because each one of us belongs to an assembly, and these local leaders, paid by our government taxes, have a crucial role to the development of our community. And the question I'm saying is simple. Uni assemblyman ana?
Oh, that be my assemblyman.
No, I don't know my assemblyman.
When I talk about assembly elections, Nimuda.
Even when you vote for these leaders, they do not do anything in the community. I don't see the reason I should waste my time to vote for them. It's always a repetition. You vote one into power, and they don't do anything until the next elections, and the next person is voted into power. There really is no use in voting for them. I have noticed that if you vote for any leader in this country, you are simply giving them opportunity to enrich themselves and their families. That is why I'm not interested in voting for anyone.
When him say you right no responsibility say we elect you for local government, I also be representative. So if something is going on in your community that is not good or needs the attention of government, that is the person who is supposed to go and represent and talk about your grievances. How do we make sure, say, going forward, no, the right thing is done?
Oh, I'm not only person I can vote to the.
I am not the only person who needs to vote for them to work. If I don't, someone else will, and if they win, they will do what they have to do.
And you have win. So what you're supposed to do, you have to do it.
Well, from this little disco, it is clear that the disconnect between the election of these local leaders into assembly and districts and the roles and responsibilities that they are supposed to be fulfilling is one clear reason why there's a declining voter participation in the local.
Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia says his statement with respect to credit scoring system in Ghana has been misconstrued. Speaking at the 57th congregation of the KNUST a fortnight ago, the Vice President was reported to have said Ghanaians can use the Ghana card to buy cars under the credit scoring system. The comment has since generated mixed reactions. The credit scoring system predicts the credit behavior, including the likelihood to pay back loans on time based on information from an individual's credit report. Responding to reactions on the back of his comments, the Vice President said with the cooperation from the Central Bank, Ghana is close to introducing an individualized credit scoring system that will allow risk to be differentiated.
We have in Ghana been the lack of an effective credit system as compared to what we see in most of the advanced countries. In Ghana, when you receive your paycheck, that is really what you try to rely on for the rest of the month. But many other jurisdictions, the credit system works effectively to increase your consumption possibilities. So I was making the statement that one of the things that we don't have currently in Ghana is a credit scoring system that the credit reference agencies would normally do. And that statement that I made was, of course, a truism. And surprisingly, some people wanted to disagree with that statement, even disagreeing with the regulator, the central bank, which was saying we don't have that system in Ghana, a individualized credit scoring system. But now with the cooperation of the central bank, I think we are very close next year to introducing an individualized credit scoring system in Ghana.
Let's stick with the NPP because a group of polling station constituents and tertiary wing executives of the NPP in the Volta Region are endorsing Ghana's Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, as a preferred running mate for the 2024 presidential race. The group describes the Menchia South lawmaker as a towering political figure capable of promoting harmony within the party, making him more suitable for the role. Presidential candidate of the governing NPP, Dr. Bawumia a couple of days back asked for more time to nominate his running mate to the party's Council of Elders, but the group calling itself Grassroots for Napo say the Energy Minister and four-term MP will be the best choice for the party. Lawal Kayode is convener of the group.
Napo as a distinguished minister. Napo has distinguished himself as a minister with outstanding leadership and support for reform initiatives at the Ministries of Education and Energy, respectively. He successfully led the implementation of the program, the free senior high school policy. As you can recollect, this major initiative was poo-pooed by our political opponents as bait to hoodwink and cajole Ghanaian voters. That notwithstanding, Dr. Matiopoku Prempeh was able to oversee the implementation of the free SHS policy amid stiff opposition and wild propaganda by distractors of the government. Napo remained firm, confident, in making throughout the initial implementation stages of this complex policy initiative. In his capacity as energy minister, Dr. Prempeh has guided players in the energy industry through significant transformational vision areas, such as maintaining the nation's electrical supply and enabling the constant supply of petroleum products at reasonable cost. In addition, Dr. Prempeh oversaw the creation of Ghana's energy transition framework, which offers a precise roadmap for the country's fair and reasonable transition. It will be remembered that in 2022, the Africa Public Sector Conference and Awards recognized Dr. Matiopoku Prempeh as the best minister.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Asiedu Nketia, has described the NDC's policies going into the 2024 elections as superior to that of the NPP. Asiedu Nketia explaining why every Ghanaian must buy into its proposed 24-hour economy, says it will put the country at par with its compatriots as well as boost industries, which will in turn transform the economy. He was speaking in a yet-to-be-aired interview on PM Personality Profile.
Our opponents are just blowing hot because that policy appears to have taken them by storm, and so their reaction suggests that they are this. This is not a complicated policy to adopt or implement at all. See, industries in Europe and many other places operate 24 hours.
True.
And we are operating 8 hours. And we are supposed to produce things and compete with somebody who is utilizing his infrastructure, everything, for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So there is, from the beginning, a disconnect that makes us uncompetitive. If we just look at the surface like that, you understand. So what we are saying is that there is already some infrastructure that is being underutilized or badly utilized. Let's take our energy infrastructure, for instance. You see that Ghana is one place where you have so much variance between low period of energy consumption and peak period of energy consumption within any day. There are times when there is peak period. Let's, for the purpose of argument, take maybe a scale of 0 to 100. There are times you see that energy consumption in some parts of the day may come to 10%. There are other times, peak periods, when you see that the energy consumption has shot up to 90%. So that variation exists in how we consume our electricity. Now, if you get into another economy where they are running 24-hour shift, you see that this variation has been evened out. So instead of maybe varying from 10% to 90%, you have a variation of around 50%. So it may come down to 40, it may go down to 60.
Yep.
And then that is how the electricity will be consumed. Now take these two scenarios and see how much it costs to fix the infrastructure for electricity distribution. You want 24-hour supply of electricity, so you don't want a scenario where during the peak period there is overload and your system will shut down.
Shut down, yeah.
Okay. So in laying the infrastructure, you must lay it in such a way that it can capture the peak period and you will still have no problems. So
catch the full interview on Friday, December 15 at 9 p.m. on the JoyNews channel. Do make a date. Let's get on to other stories. Rusted roofing sheets protecting an already wobbly wooden structure with eroded cement bricks on the sides is the simplest description one can give that cries the answer RC Basic School at Mepe in the North Tong district. With a shortage of teachers, effective learning has been adversely affected in a number of schools in the area. Clinton Yeboah visited the community and has come through with today's episode of Ghana's Schools of Shame.
The structure is worn out, weathered and hangs loosely, but accommodates not less than 60 pupils in the school all the years gone by. The classrooms are crafted from standing wood, walled with plain concrete blocks, serving as a mini wall. Classes come to an abrupt close when the clouds gather.
If the rain will come to the schoolroom, we don't have sitting place, so the madam will close us, then we go.
The school is located in the Mepe traditional area. The town looks relaxing with its colorful culture and people, but the quality of education in the area is diminishing. Christ the Answer RC Primary School is one of the few schools in the enclave. Recognizing the insufficiency of educational facilities and educational personnel in these communities, since 2014, that is 9 years down the lane, the situation here has been the same, no improvements. Their predicaments come on the blind side of an abandoned classroom block. This is the structure reported to be the new school block to replace the old dilapidated one. However, according to the assembly member, the structure, which is at 70% completion, has been left in weeds since 2020. Pitias Agbemo Nomenyo is the assembly member.
And we are hoping that as the contractor was on site, and what he told us, this project will have finished earlier for students to move into the classrooms. But as at now, you can see that the project is at roofing level. So all efforts for the project to be completed are proof futile. And as at now, you can see, even at the classrooms, when the school started, we had students about 200. But
the Ministry of Health has secured funding for the construction of a 3-story training complex for the paramedic and emergency care training school in the Ashanti region. Deputy Sector Minister Tina Mensah says a construction project is aimed at improving the school's infrastructure development. She disclosed this after the passing out of 525 emergency medical technicians basic of the National Ambulance Service.
The 525 passed out as emergency medical technicians comprising 257 drivers and 268 non-drivers after successfully completing a 1-year intensive training program in emergency medical services. The 12th batch, who have acquired various emergency medical services skills, will be handling medical emergencies ranging from road traffic crashes to labor and cardiac arrest, among others. They were taken through bleeding control, positive pressure ventilation with a bag valve mask, oxygen administration and full spinal immobilization training. The new graduates of the paramedic and emergency care training school are to the 2,033 Ghanaians granted financial clearance for recruitment into the National Ambulance Service to contain the growing numbers of the school. Deputy Minister of Health, Tina Mensah, has reviewed plans to uplift infrastructural facilities.
National Ambulance Service is now full-fledged and an agency under my ministry following the passage of the National Ambulance Bill into law and the subsequent formation of the National Ambulance Governing Body. In relation to infrastructural improvement of the school, I am happy to announce that my ministry has secured funding for the construction of a 3-story training complex, which construction will start as soon as the necessary procurement processes are over. Equally, I'm happy to mention that the board chair, Nana Yafi Abebiu, has also secured the necessary support from the Middle Belt Authority to construct a new dining hall for the school.
Acting President of the Offensive Traditional Council, Nana Kwekudua II, is urging government to elevate the paramedic school to meet international standards.
The decision of citing paramedic and emergency care training school here to produce the country's paramedics was a perfect one, and I will encourage the government to do well to expand and develop the school. Honorable Minister, Deputy Ministers, and other government functions present, PECTS needs a facelift. This is the only training school that turns out our paramedics, and that is why we are calling for your support to build a school to international standards.
Chairman of the Governing Board of the National Ambulance Service, Nana Yafi Abebiu, advised the EMTs to uphold professionalism.
Graduates, as you step into this demanding profession, share your common knowledge across the nation. You are the frontline heroes, and society places immense trust in you. Approach your responsibilities and professionalism, empathy, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Our nation faces challenges, but I have faith in your abilities.
Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton Yeboah.
It's just 2 weeks to Christmas, and the beautiful lights you usually see on the principal street of Accra during the festive period are back. Light up, the city has become an integral part of the Yuletide. The gleaming lights that adorn the Liberation Circle and the stretch from the Aqua J interchange to the central business district of Accra and other areas of the city spark a festive mood for many. Maxwell Agbagba was at the 2023 launch of the event and now reports.
Some participants of the Christmas parade, which incorporated the rich Ghanaian culture. It preceded the launch of the 2023 Light Up the City, with participants singing and dancing on the principal streets of Accra. Children from Adabraka, Choco, and other parts of the capital had a joyful feel of the Christmas celebrations too, as they participated in the parade. Sounds of Christmas carols filled the air at the main event. Speaking at the 2023 launch of Light Up the City, CEO of Jandel Limited and the brain behind the decorations, Afia Moru, said she's hopeful that soon other regions will also get to benefit from the joy the Christmas lights bring.
We are pleased to partner the GTA in this exciting development by also introducing the vibrant Light Up Parade as a new addition to our fast-growing Light Up initiative. It is our hope that today, with Ghana Tourism Authority and the relevant complementary agencies, this initiative would be a well-sought-after addition to move from Accra to various cities. This year, we have the pleasure of hosting over 300 children from the community and orphanages to join in the parade, and many of our sponsors have donated gift items to make their celebration even more special. The success and security of this program would also not be complete. As we wrap up the year, I wish to leave you with a simple message. Christmas is not about the things we have, buy, or the gifts we receive. It is about the love we give and the hearts we touch.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Asiedu, is optimistic. Light Up the Parade will become bigger and an important event on Ghana's Christmas calendar.
Everybody has to be part of the celebration, and seeing that kids from Jamestown, from Osu, from Adabraka were all part of the celebration today is something that we must applaud. And I believe that working with Jandel and all the other partners, we will be able to hold the torch and make sure that going forward, light up the parade, light up the city, and the parade that we saw today is something that will grow in leaps and bounds and become a very iconic event for Ghana.
It is the 5th consecutive time EcoBank is sponsoring Light Up the City. Yes, a rep.
We later expanded this into other cities, Kumasi and Takoradi. And remarkably, and also for our Muslim brothers in the country, we did the first Ramadan edition also, and we will continue to do this.
4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. There we go. Take a look, people.
We can go back to our earlier story where Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Martin Kwekweyise, has revealed there's a feasibility study currently underway as part of an agreement to ascertain the necessity of constructing lithium refinery in the country. His comments follows calls from civil society organizations for government to establish a local company for exploiting the country's lithium rather than permitting foreign entities to mine the resource. Lands Minister Abu Jinapo has been justifying the country's lithium agreement with Barari CV Company, describing it as the best. But the CSOs are urging Parliament to scrutinize the deal, describing the agreement as too simplistic, especially given the uncertainties in the demand for lithium. I've been joined by co-chair of the Ghana Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Dr. Stephen Manteo. I'm grateful for your time, sir. You must have had the opportunity to go through this deal. What's your own reading into it?
Well, yes, I've actually looked at some of the terms negotiated on behalf of the state. And my preliminary assessment tells me that this is the best natural resource contract we've signed so far in the history of resource extraction in Ghana. So it sets a certain new baseline for negotiating future contracts. Let me make the point that it happened in the same manner in Jubilee. If you were to compare the Jubilee contract with other contracts that were signed later, you'll find that over time, we have improved on the fiscal terms that are negotiated on behalf of the state. So I want to believe that this contract will set a new baseline and we will never go back to those days when we're negotiating for 5% royalty, 3% royalty, and 10% carried interest and the rest. As you can see in this very contract, we've actually doubled our mineral royalty in respect of lithium, and that would be the new baseline going forward. And this is what actually gives me some optimism that over time we'll be making a break with the past. Let me express my disappointment with the sentimental nature of the argument that are being made by some of my colleagues in the CSO fraternity. This is because, yes, there's a certain recognition that the resource belongs to us. Yes, if it belongs to us, then it behoves on us to invest in the exploration and exploitation of the resource. Have you ever wondered why it should always be a certain white race that comes on for decades? That should tell you that we are not investing in exploration of the resource. And those who are doing that on our behalf would want returns on the investments they make. Now, over time too, we found that the most assured and progressive revenue stream in the natural resource sector is equity. As we speak, we do not have any equity in any mineral concession. In this very one, we have some equity and want to believe that going forward, we'll be increasing our equity participation. But let's recognize that equity is not given on a silver platter. If you are given an equity, it means that you will have to cough up equal measure or exactly equitable measure of the investments required for the project. So if you have 10% equity, it means you are going to cough up 10% of the money required to undertake the project. And this country doesn't seem to do very well when it comes to responding to cash calls. We've had incidents in the oil sector in respect of Sankofa Dyname, in respect of Jubilee, where we have failed to respond to cash calls. And so we need to be careful and we need to be measured in how we take equity. Let's take what we can manage for now and have a strategy over time to be able to increase our equity participation so that we'll be able to retain much more of the value in the resource sector.
I'm grateful for your time. Dr. Asiedu Nketia is co-chair Ghana Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. Let's take a break on Joy News Today. When we return, there is business.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Vlisco Ghana has pledged its commitment to ensuring customer satisfaction by creating fabrics that suit all occasions. Brand manager for Vlisco Ghana, Deborah Sowa, said the new fabric line will offer customers the flexibility to create exciting designs. She has been speaking at the launch of the Vlisco Satin Royale, a new fabric introduced to offer consumers comfort.
The launch of the Vlisco Satin Royal was marked with an evening of class and elegance. The new fabric line, which was created upon feedback from customers, is softer than regular Vlisco fabrics and made to offer comfort for users. Speaking at the launch of the ceremony, Deborah Sowa, brand manager for Vlisco Ghana, noted that Vlisco is committed to ensuring customer satisfaction by providing a wide range of fabrics which suit all occasions.
Vlisco had listened to his consumers, and based on consumers' feedback, we have decided to introduce a new category to our portfolio, and that category is Satin Royal. It is really soft. In the part of Africa that we find ourselves, we are facing hot weather sometimes, and Satin Royal is really coming to bring some comfort. And then it's airy, you can do a lot of style, it doesn't limit styles. Okay, and it's not really for the ordinary kaba and slates. You can do much more with Satin Royal than any ordinary product that we have on the market.
She details how to purchase the new fabric line.
Satin Royal is available online, and in Ghana we have up to now we have only one Vlisco shop, that is at Accra Mall. So aside buying it from us here, you can get it online as well.
Creative Director of Stylista and Designer for Vlisco, Araba Stevens, explained the ease of working with the fabric.
Satin Royal, as a designer, is something that we've waited for so long. The comfort, the elegance, the way the fabric flows, there are so many things that you can do with it that you can't do with other fabrics. And one thing I already said is, we like that you can dress it up and you can dress it down. So you can dress it up, let's say you have a gala or some big black tie event this Christmas, you can use it. At the same time, it's so comfortable that you can wear it from day to night. So you can make blouses, skirts, trousers, things that you can live in from morning to evening. And because of the elegance, it gives you a lot of versatility. Many places that you can use it. So maybe you left the house to go for something in the morning. You can still take it to something in the evening without having to go home and change, because it's so classy and sophisticated.
The fabric, which is made up of natural fibers, is expected to offer designers the flexibility to create exciting designs while offering customers comfort.
The Association of Ghana Industries Energy Service Center says it will embark on various measures to promote energy efficiency and renewable energy practices among commercial and industrial companies in Ghana. According to the president of the Association of Energy Professionals Ghana, Darlington Ahoble, this will be done through investing in young professionals to acquire skills. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of a partnership between AGI Energy Service Center and the Institute of Energy Professionals Africa.
The Association of Ghana Industries Energy Service Center and the Institute of Energy Professionals Africa partnership is to deploy the Association of Energy Engineer certification programs and other IEPA training opportunities in Ghana.
So currently we have very few professionals who have AE certification. Our strategy going forward is to encourage members to take up training and go through the certification exams to be certified as professional engineers, energy engineers in the country, and to support industry growth and also support in analytics for management decision making, so that basically the energy professionals are looking at how industries and commercial facilities can look at their energy bills and find ways to reduce energy consumption or energy waste within their facilities.
Executive Director at the Institute of Energy Professionals Africa, Yolanda DeLange, said it is key to enroll more young people to acquire skills within the energy sector.
If I look at that you only have 4 certified professionals in Ghana that can work in this industry, I think it's crucial to develop it, because we do need them to also mentor your youth, that you can get younger people into the industry. The future for green energy generation and green energy use lies with the youth, and we need certified professionals to mentor the youth and implement projects. So it is very crucial.
Chief Technical Officer at the Association of Ghana Industries Energy Service Center, Babel Freya, said such partnership is key to support economic growth.
We are now having the possibility to train certified engineers here in Ghana, which was not possible before. Ghana didn't have a partner. The AEE is an international body from the US, and the IEPA is a South African training institution supporting this. And so the partnership between Energy Service Center and IEPA is the first possibility now for Ghanaians to do international certifications here in Ghana, trainings here in Ghana. So that is the big step.
That's it for business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Sports is next.
Welcome to the sports segment on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, it was a good weekend for the Porcupine fraternity as Asante Kotoko came from behind to beat Hearts of Oak 3-2 in a dramatic clash at the Baba Yara Stadium. The victory was Kotoko's 4th in a row, which saw them maintain their 7th place on 22 points, just 4 behind league leader Samatex. Now, assistant coach David Oklu believes the win can inspire them to challenge for the title.
It's all about consistency. You could see that for some time now, we've been performing and we are keeping the consistency. I think I would like to thank the fans also for coming to support us. We are really grateful.
Normally, form guide doesn't come to play when it's Hearts and Kotoko. What changed it this time?
Yeah, gone are the days. Gone are the days. Football is dynamic. It keeps changing. So that's the difference you've seen today.
Is this the turning point for Kotoko? Because Hearts of Oak christened this match Operation Turning Point, but for you, you're on the ascendancy.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it's about consistency. If you see, we've been playing the same team for some time now, and we are getting the result. And I think this will lift us up to fight for the title.
Yeah, we took the lead, and we lost concentration. And in these kind of matches, you need physically and mentally toughness, So that's exactly what happened. We lost the concentration. We lost the focus. I could see your players were very intense. Do you think they put in too much energy before the game? No, I don't think so. This is a game that we have to relax and enjoy it. And I don't know.
That's your sports on JN Today. My name is Harun Mubarak. Up next is World News.
Time checkout was making headlines elsewhere. Power blackout that plunged Kenya into darkness on Sunday was a possible act of sabotage, a minister says. This is Kenya's third nationwide blackout in the past 4 months. The outage disrupted several services, including the main airport in the capital, Nairobi, where 2 terminals were without power for several hours. Many Kenyans have demanded answers as anger and frustration mounts over the recurring power disruptions. Transport Minister, who has been criticized for the time it took to restore power at Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on Sunday, has asked police to investigate the possibility that the recurring power outages were sabotage. Some Kenyans have suggested that power cuts could be part of a plot to justify privatizing the state-run electricity provider, Kenya Power and Lighting Company. Other Kenyans have disagreed, instead blaming KPLC's incompetence for the blackouts. Power had been restored to most of the country by noon on Monday, except for some parts of Nairobi and the coast region. That does it for World News, and that's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.